Today, we will be joined by a former cabinet secretary, lawyer, legislator, and political strategist from Negros Oriental. So you think the president is involved?
Well, he's involved. Ikaw ang presidente eh. Ikaw may responsibilidad ng taxpayers' money.
Talagang sindikato.
Sindikato.
Nagsasabuatan.
That's how it is.
He has been a consistent voice on issues of national unity, development, and public accountability. Ang pinaka-binabanatan ngayon, Saldico.
Itong pinatago nila.
How about the ICI, sir?
ICI is a farce. It's for show.
Recognized for his work in legal advocacy and his insights on the evolving dynamics of Philippine politics, from local power structures in Negros to national policy debates in Manila. Safe na siya sa impeachment, sir?
No. She is not safe from being impeached. Pero you cannot detach also the fact that baka mas mauna pang impeachment complaint against Marcos. There are lots of people also contemplating. Ang sinasabi nila, mas worse ito sa tatay. Eh kung napaka masama, napaka kabulastugan yung ginawa ng tatay, eh kung mas worse ito, ano pang generation ang susunod?
Welcome to The Right Show on Record. Former Presidential Political Advisor Secretary Jacinto Jean Paras. Sir, thank you again. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, JV.
To The Right Show on Record.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Ang tagal na po nating di nagkita.
Yes.
Dati ho, kasama ko po si Secretary para sa Duterte administration at nung reporter po ako, I was covering him when he was the Labor Undersecretary and Congressman pa. So ang dami ko na pong isa po siya sa mga credible sources ko pagdating sa mga istorya sa politika, si Sec Paras. But by the way, as I mentioned earlier, Secretary Paras was a former Negros Oriental congressman, labor undersecretary, and PLLO pa, sir, no?
PLLO, then the last was I was the presidential
political advisor. Okay, let's go deep dive na, sir, agad sa mga may init na issue bago pa painitin ang ating mundo. Sir, ngayon pag-usapan, itong mainit ngayon sa politika, let's talk about flood control projects. What do you think? Anong nakikita mo sa mga investigasyon mula sa Senado hanggang sa tinatawag nilang ICI?
Well, unang-una, for the House and the Senate, well, their investigation is always in aid of legislation. So whatever findings they have, they come up with a committee report. Then, if there are people they claim to be liable, they recommend it still to the office of the ombudsman for prosecution, just like what happened to Parmali. It's like what happened to previous investigation of the Blue Ribbon. It ended or ends up in the office of the ombudsman, and nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Oh.
How about the ICI, sir?
Oh, well, this is a farce. ICI is a farce office. In fact,
when you say farce, it's
for show.
Oh, meaning
to say that it's a facade for the real culprits. Kasi sino ba talagang responsible dito sa pera na nilustay? Saan ba nanggaling? Oh, di ba sa General Appropriations Act?
That was signed by the President?
Of course. 2023, 2024, 2025. Eh kung 2023 pa lang, siya yung nagpresenta ng NEP. After the SONA, di ba? When you deliver your SONA, thereafter, a month thereafter, sometime in August, you submit your budget, which they call the National Expenditure Program. Nandyan na yung mga, nakalaan na yung mga from DPWH, from DepEd, but these are vetted from each department.
So you think the president is involved?
Well, he's involved in the sense that pinabayaan niya. He did not study the General Appropriations Act kasi kung babasihan mo yung sinubmit mo na NEP, tapos pagdating sa General Appropriations Bill, it went to the process of hearings, then later on it went to the BICAM, then they came up with a General Appropriations Bill, di ba? Klaro-klaro kung pagtingnan mo doon sa DPWH budget, ang laki ng diferensya from the NEP and the GEA, lalo na sa flood control. Ikaw ang presidente, nag-aaral ka, hindi ka bobo, hindi ka stupido. You're a bright person. Papayagan mo kaya na makakalusot yung bilyon-bilyon na pinatong doon sa original na NEP? You will shout red flags, di ba?
So
pero pinalusot niya eh.
So who do you think is the mastermind? Because yung sa Senate investigation, they're trying to point out na ang pinaka-mastermind sila speaker or
no, sila speaker, they may have benefited. But you really think that Marcos is not aware? Pwede bang payagan lang si speaker na to tinker with all this amount of money? Okay, presuming na they tinker with it in their level sa Congress, then to the BICAM. Pero ikaw may final say eh. You have the final say as far as pwede mong i-erase yun, pwede mong ibito, pwede mong ibalik.
Sabi nga ni former Justice Carpio, remember? Na hindi pa siya absuelto because he has the prerogative to veto. Like for example, sa 2025 budget.
Mayroon ng questions about blanco na mga
blank items.
If you are conscious and you are the leader, the real leader of this country, and you are supposed to be intelligent, supposed to be hands-on, you really think papalusutin mo yun? Hindi mo ba, sabi pa nga niya, I'm scrutinizing, I'm reading every page. Bakit 21 or 29 billion lang yung binito mo? Can you imagine, JV, from 2023, 2024, 2025, 1.2 trillion. Flood control lang. Mas malaki pa sa budget ng ibang departments that really matters to the people. So,
Trillion. For 3 years.
For 3 years.
Flood control projects.
Yes.
So what can you say about his, mahiya naman kayo kunyari ng mga messages?
Alam mo, lang niya yun. Inunahan niya kasi noong 2024,
na-fact check siya.
Na-fact check siya kasi siya mismo, he was so proud to announce to the whole world, to the people, and to his cohorts in Congress, that, we have 5,500 flood control. Accomplishment natin to. Pero ang Diyos, sabi, ito sinungaling itong presidente na ito. Paulanin nga natin. At i-test natin yung kanyang pinagyayabang na 5,000. Nabisto ngayon. So galit siya doon. Then later on, sinasabi niya na wala tayong magawa, na anod. Pero siguro may nagsabi sa kanya, boss, baka the issue will be in your doorstep. Unahan mo na. Blame them. And it should not reach your level. Pero you cannot hide the truth, JB, because paper trail yan eh. General Appropriations Act, sino bang may responsibility? Apart from that, yung mga unprogrammed funds. people are now saying, in fact, yung si Congressman Momo, he was asked, Saldico mismo, tinanong siya, wala akong kinalaman yan. Si Presidente ang may say niyan lahat. Yung si Swansing, anong sinasabi? Yun ang program funds, wala kaming control yan. It's the President that gives go signal kung kanino yan ilalabas. Kasi DBM ang nagre-release eh.
Yes. But if you're going to watch, if you're an outsider and nanonood ka ng Senate investigation, parang ang narrative kasi, SEC ay Speaker or Zaldico ang allegedly pinaka-utak. So, ngayon, actually, ang pinaka binabanatan ngayon, Zaldico. Diba? At yung ilang mga
Pero
senators.
pinatago nila.
What do you mean by pinatago? Can you please elaborate?
Alam mo, you really think these people who are on top of Zaldico would want him to come back and be cornered to tell the truth and pinpoint to people? Of course, they will not want that. So, double-edged yan. So, si Zaldico wants to get away from responsibility. Busog na siya. Pwede siya magtago. Pwede siya magpapalit ng muka. We cannot run. You can no longer run after him. No?
Sa tingin mo, sino yung mga taong nagpatago sa kanya, sir?
Well, obvious. Who are the people on top?
The administration?
Ikaw, tanongin kita, kung ikaw si Zaldico, minaniobra mo yung mga, kinamada mo yung figures. Kasabwat mo si Sani Angara doon sa Baicam. Tapos sa 2025, kasabwat mo si Grispo. Tapos, si Grispo, sino bang amo ni Grispo? Yung Senate President. Si Zaldico, sino bang amo niya?
Yung Speaker.
Then, you will ask this question, sino bang amo ni Speaker? Sa 2023 pa lang, kung nakita na ni Marcos yung kabulastugan, sabihin niya, leche itong mga tao na ito. Dinagdagan nila ng todo-todo. Ng 300 or 400 billion yung NEP. Hindi ka ba kaya mag-alboroto? Pero bakit mo pinalampas? Hindi mo ba kaya sabihin na, I don't trust this speaker? Sino bang may say as far as who choose the speaker?
The President.
The President.
Pero klarohin lang natin, sir. He is involved dahil may pabaya or involved dahil kumita?
Well, that question is for us to think about. Yung mga matalino, alam nila yan kung ibig sabihin. How come the money went to Aguado?
Aguado, para sa mga kababayan natin, para malinawan.
Alam mo, mga mahal kong mga kapatid na mga Pilipino, alam mo yung Aguado, isang bahay yan
sa tapat ng
na pinag-aari ng mga Romualdez, ni Cocoy Romualdez, kapatid ni Imelda Marcos, nung matagal ng panahon pa. Even before the martial law of 1992. Diyan na sila nakatira.
Yeah.
Saan ba yung Aguado? Ito yung Laurel Street. Saan ba yung entrance ng Malacanang? Ikaw, kabisado mo yan dahil nandoon yung gate 2.
Yes.
Nandoon kayo.
Yeah. Dati.
PCO. Gate 4, nandyan yung tinabay ng Borloloy Building.
Yes. Katapat ng Aguado ang Borloloy Building.
Kung ako, si Martin Romualdez or si Zaldico, I mean, this is just my personal view. At you want to hide something, bakit mo dadalhin sa malayo? Ilagay ko lahat sa Forbes. Ilagay ko yun. Bakit po dinivert doon?
Sa Aguado.
So
you
na
think
malayo yung control ko. So mayroong niyang ibig sabihin.
So your conclusion is somebody near Aguado, which is Malacanang.
Posible. Because you're asking me. Sabi ko, I mean, it's a hunch of a lot of people who know kung ano yung Aguado. Oh. Ikaw ka, siguro,
Alam ko yung
yung
bahay
Casa Roses, nakakain ka na rin doon. That's just across. Oh. May mga haka-haka, mga kwento-kwento na during the martial law daw, and towards the EDSA revolution, hindi na daw nakatira si Macoy Sr. at saka pamilya niya. They were living, dahil sa fear, they were living in that house in Aguado. May tunnel daw yan. Pero ano lang daw, chismis lang, marites lang. Pero why is it that we should really go deeper anang involvement ni Marcos? Why is Marcos using the propaganda mechanism of saying that mahiya kayo? Inunahan niya yung mga, would you be leader ka, tapos i-blame mo yung mga tao mo? Anong klaseng leader ka?
You have to kumbaga may command responsibility.
Command responsibility ka kasi, alam mo, simpleng-simple lang sa mga ordinary, mga kababayan. Saan ba nanggaling yung pera na nilustay? Ha? Sa General Appropriations Act, di ba?
Yes.
Oh. Sinong pumirma?
Yes.
Oh. Bakit nakalusot? Pinag-aralan mo ba? Ikaw ang presidente eh. Ikaw may responsibilidad ng ng taxpayers' money.
Yes.
Oh. So bakit mo pinalusot? Maybe you can negligence. You can allege that he's just really does not have enough brain in his head. Marami. Or you were part of it.
Yes.
Kasama ka sa istorya ng
itong revelasyon ni Colonel ni Sergeant Gutesa, it's almost similar sa mga binabanggit mo ngayon, sir. So do you believe that Sergeant Gutesa is a credible witness?
Well, there are no contrary witnesses to doubt his credibility, except dinadivert nila doon sa notary public.
Which is not a big, which is irrelevant, do you think?
Irrelevant yun eh. Kasi yung nilagay sa papel, yung kanyang salaysay na pinanotarize, presuming na hindi totoo yun, yung notary. Ha? Oh. Pero it was rectified by reading the same statement under oath.
In the Senate?
In the Senate.
Okay, so it's valid already?
It's valid. Unless there is fact contrary na, wala ka naman. That's why they have to prove. Kaya dapat yung mga senador should summon this notary public. Kasi there are senators who want to deviate the issue by saying na, hindi siya credible dahil nagsinungaling siya tungkol sa notary. Hindi mo pa nga na-prove kung sinong nagsinungaling. Yung notary ba o si Gutesa? And yet, si Pangilinan, si Lacson, they're already making some conclusions.
Yeah.
When in fact, alam mo, ang bottom line dyan, sinasabi ni Lacson, witness daw ni Marcoleta. Hindi, bigla na lang.
Surprise witness.
Ikaw yung chairman. You are the king. You are the kingpin of the Blue Ribbon. Pwede mong hindi pa-testifiyan mas kasino kung ayaw mo. O bakit mo pinatestify? Tapos ngayon, na-reveal.
Hinusgahan mo na.
Na-reveal, bigla kang sisirain mo yung kredibilidad. When you're supposed to be neutral. You're even supposed to protect the integrity of the witnesses. Kasi yun ang magiging ammunitions mo pag nagsumulat ka na ng committee report at i-report mo sa ombudsman.
Bago tayo pumunta dyan sa issue with internally sa Senate, let's go back to Sergeant Gutesa's testimony. Sergeant Gutesa mentioned na naghatid sila sa Aguado. Siya lang ang nagbanggit na ng involvement ni Speaker Martin Romualdez, ni Congressman Eric Yap. So, all these allegations, like yung maletang pera, like yung mga van na dinala, are these, do you think legit? Do you think may katotohanan na
Alam mo,
ganito kadami yung dadalhin
dapat kasi i-connect mo. You're talking of 1.2 trillion. But you're talking only of billions here.
32 billion. Oh, ilang billion? 2 billion? Okay.
Siguro mga posible, mga 60, 70 billion na tinabi.
Yeah.
Kasi marami ring mga congressmen na nagtabi.
Yes.
Kasi ganito kasi ang alam ko diyan. No? I would not elaborate on who are involved. Pero yun itong proseso. Okay. Mayroong grupo. Palagay na natin yung grupo nila Saldico. Mayroon silang recruiter ng mga kontraktor. Mayroon yang a certain that na mga kasabwat nila sa. In fact, may kaso na yan noong pa lang sa panahon ni President Duterte, yung rock netting. They have a case in Sandigan. The same group. Alam mo kasi, ako, pag contractor ako, gusto ko makakuha. You should look back to Janet Napoles. Bakit na control ni Janet Napoles? Di ba, ikaw, congressman. Ikaw si Congressman Zebra. Sabihin mo, sir, bigyan mo naman ako, sir. Sabi ni itong sidekick mo na si Congressman Multo o si Congressman Guards. Okay naman daw mabigyan ako. Sir, mayroon akong dala dito. Alam ko, 25% hiningi nyo. Ikaw ba, mag-refuse ka? Nandiyan na yung pera. O, bibigyan ko kaagad ikaw. So, doon pa lang sa una, hindi na nila hintayin yung bidding. They already got the money from the start pa lang.
Talagang sindikato.
Nagsasabuatan. That's how it is. But maraming aspect. Ito pa lang yung isang sigurado. Pero, apart from that, kumuha din sila ng sarili nila, allocation. Kaya, ang daming SunWest. Ang daming La Suerte. Tapos, maraming insertions ng mga congressmen. Doon pa lang sa NEP, may in-insert na eh.
Yeah.
Di ba, nakita mo yung sinasabi ni Lacson na nilapitan si Soto?
Yes, ni isang Yusek ng DPWH.
Oo. Example lang yon. Inamin nila na tumatawag yung Yusek Cabral. Tinatanong, Senator,
kung may pahabol.
O may pahabol ka ba? 500 million. Do you think siya lang yung tinawagan? Si Cabral yon, level ng ano. What about the district engineer? Kung ikaw ang congressman ng district niya. Boss, kung ano bang gusto mong project? So, ito. Sabihin ng district engineer, saan pupunta yung listahan na yan? Isasabit yan doon sa central office. Yun na yung magiging NEP. Yun na yung magiging NEP. Tapos, kung kulang pa yon, boss, baka pwede mong dagdagan yung galing doon sa baba. Sige, dagdagan natin. Tapos, kung ikaw kontraktor, ayaw mo pwede kang maghiram ng lisensya. Kaya si Diskaya, dalawa yung trabaho niya. Direct contracting at saka pahiram ng kanyang mga lisensya. Kasi he gets 3 to 5% eh. No sweat. That's why he made so much money there. He also made so much money on ghost projects or substandard projects.
Yeah.
And that goes for all the 15. And we're not talking of only 15. Bakit ilan lang yung na-highlight?
15 contractors
na sinabi ni Marcos.
Ni Presidente na naka-corner ng billions.
But We're not only talking of 15. There was, baka sabihin mo, 1,000 na contractor who made money.
And this 15 only cornered
100
during
million.
his term.
Oh, 100 million lang yan out of the 500. 100 billion lang yung sinabi ni Marcos na 100 billion of the 500 were cornered by only 15.
Wow.
Diba? Sinabi niya yun. O what about the 400? Sino-sino yun? Nandoon na yung mga congressmen sa kanilang sarili-sariling district.
Congressman na may contractor din. Yung tinatawag
Congressman
na contractor.
na nangongontrata.
Contractor yung tinatawag nila.
Hindi kasali yung parking.
The parking naman ay, ano naman yung parking
Ang parking kasi, congressman ka.
Dalawa tayong congressman.
District
Magkaiba
ka.
tayong distrito.
Hindi. Halimbawa, ako si Congressman Z.
Oo.
Ikaw si
Congressman Y.
Congressman Y. Ha? Sabihin ko, pare, may ilalaglag akong 500 million dyan sa district mo.
Pero ikaw bahala.
5%. Mayroon kang 5%.
Pero ikaw nga ang...
Pero ako maglalagay ng kontraktor.
Ikaw rin nagkikontrol.
Ako rin may control. Bantayan mo lang yung DE mo na tutuparin itong usapan natin. Ganoon.
So ito yung parang sinasabi ng nila Alcantara and Bryce Hernandez na mga project ni Zaldico sa Bulacan. So yun ang tinatawag na parking.
Nagparking siya doon. Kausap niya si Yusek Bernardo. I know for a fact na si Bernardo talaga yung
Involved.
gumagalaw dyan. Kasi kilala ko siya eh. I've spoke with him about certain things.
So, ang daming mga kumbaga karakter dito, sir, sa issue
Maraming
na to.
aspects ito ng...
Sa tingin mo, sino ang pinaka-guilty? Sino ang least guilty? At sino ang deserve na maging state witness?
Wala, alam mo, ganito lang yan eh. Simple lang ang argument ko. Kung walang pera, walang korupsyon. Kung hindi mo inallocate at dinispense yung pera sa DPWH, paano kumita sila sa flood control? Yan lang, simple lang. Kung bobo ka at stupido ka, medyo okay lang sanang konti. Pero kung kasabwat ka, kausap mo ito si
contractor.
Hindi.
DE.
Si Big Shot. Si Big Shot sa Congress at saka si Big Shot sa Senado, kausap mo yan. Kaparti ka. Kasi kung hindi kayo nag-uusap, kayang-kaya mong harangin yung pera. Kayang-kaya mong hindi ipapalabas. Sabi nga ni Toby Chanko, yung for later release, hinarang ni... So, kaya niya nga humarang eh.
Kayang harangin ng presidente.
Kayang harangin. Kaya niyang sabihin sa DBM kasi under our system kasi, mayroon tayong tinatawag na one fund system. Lahat na pera, papasok yan sa National Treasury. And once the money goes there, only the DBM, through the approval of the President, can dispense the money, can dispense the money to the district, to the region, through a thing called NCA.
Tingin mo ba ang DBM may ano rin dito?
Oo, pare. Doon lang sa tanong ni Senator Win Gatchalian, tinanong niya itong DBM secretary. Paano yung mga projects na nakalagay sa NEP na sa DPWH? Nire-review nyo ba? Kasi sila Ronnie Puno, sila Marcy Teodoro, sinasabi nila na nagkakadoble-doble. Mayroong isang barangay, mayroong allocation, tapos the same barangay, mayroong another allocation.
Same amount.
Same amount. Or similar amount. So saan galing yan? Sabi ni sir, we just mirror what they... So wala kayong review? You just let the president sign and Now, kung ikaw ang presidente, hindi mo ba, do you trust everybody? Wala. Panay nga ang pasyal mo, sana you devoted time naman to
check the
budget, because this is the most important piece of legislation, the General Appropriations Act. Paano nakalusot? So kung wala yan, yung GAA na yan, JV, wala rin perang malulustay doon sa baba. But you permitted it. During the time of PRRD,
Yeah.
I was the PLLO. Ilang beses nagbito si Duterte ng 2 beses yung sa Coco Levy Fund. Ayaw niyang, he wants to be assured na yung pera talagang mapupunta. Kaya 2 beses niya pinareview. Kasi binabasa niya yung
budget.
Binabasa niya yung budget, binabasa niya yung batas. Ito bang Mr. Marcos Jr., binabasa ba niya? Or nagdadaldal lang siya na, I went to every page. O ba, sabi ni Carpio, bakit 29 billion lang yung
Exactly.
binito mo?
Yeah.
Kung binasa mo. Ibig mo sabihin na kasabwat ka kasi pinalusot mo.
At hindi siya absuelto sa mga
Hindi siya absuelto. So, sila Martin,
So it's late for a hero.
sila Saldi, hindi yan gagalaw pare kung walang go signal. Kasi ganito yung danger niyan eh. JB.
Yeah.
Ikaw, halimbawa si Martin ka, ako si Saldi. May usapan tayo. Magtabi tayo dito. Ito yung mag-insert tayo o tayo sa Bicam. Pero magkakalakas loob ka ba? Na yung ginawa nyo pagdating doon, mabubulatlat at sabihin ni McCoy Jr., punyeta kayo, nagsingit kayo dito. Yayariin ko kayo. Pero, bakit walang ganun? Bakit nakalusot? Di ba? Kung responsable ka na tao, from NEP to GAB, ang laki na patong. Tapos puro flood control. Tapos, nung 2024, sinabi na niya yung 5,500. Siguro after 2 weeks, na-prove na walang silbi yung flood control. Bakit mo papalusit din uli yung 2025? Hindi ba mag-alboroto ka na?
Exactly.
Pero,
Pinatusok
paano
pa rin.
nakalusot pa rin yung
400 plus.
billion? Sabi ni Carpio, 29 lang out of the 421 billion.
He only vetoed 29 billion.
Yes.
Yeah, so
bakit mo pa pinalusot uli? Because the deal shall continue.
Dito sir sa mga investigation ng Senate, may mga lumalabas kasi that you mentioned earlier that the boss of the House, the boss of the Senate are talking or were talking during the deliberation or during the budget process, And ngayon parang nagtuturuan yung dalawa, si Cheese and Speaker Romualdez, former Speaker Romualdez. So may mga nagpapalusot that may ibang script naman yung ginagawa ng Senate Blue Ribbon ngayon, iba rin daw yung script ni Senator Marcoleta. Anong tingin mo dito sa nangyayari ngayon sa Senado with all these alleged scripts that they're following?
I can only personally conclude from my own point of view na there is a move to divert the issue. Kasi
A move to divert the issue from
away
what?
from the congressman.
To
Kasi nag-mention na si Diskaya bakit
Yes.
hindi mo pinatawag yung mga congressmen? Parliamentary. Sabi nga ni Marcoleta, yung parliamentary, pag sinasupina mo or pinasomon mo. Pero kung imbitasyon lang, they have a choice naman
Yeah.
Pero kung ikaw, imbitahin ka, hindi ka sisipot, hindi ba kaya mapapahiya ka sa tao, may tinatago ka? So you just invite them. There's nothing harmful in inviting because that is prerogative, di ba?
Yeah.
So, yun. Pero, kagaya ni Gutesa, naghahanap ka nga ng whistleblower
Yes.
Ito na nga yung whistleblower that identifies
The
alleged mastermind. Bigla mong puprotektahan at kikwestiyonin mo ngayon yung credibility for the very flimsy reason that the notary public is faulty. Hindi dapat patawag mo ng notary public. Questionin mo doon, bakbakin mo. Kasi si Makalintal, Attorney Makalintal has also said that this is not the first time that this particular itong Attorney Pichera has nag-notarize na parehong-pareho yung
nawala pala siya doon.
Oo. Di ba?
Pero going back to the scripts.
Yes.
So anong script to? Anong yung sinasabi mo may effort to divert the issue. So you think that whose script ang nangingibabaw sa ngayon?
Well, there is an effort to prevent reaching to the topmost. Kasi kung tirahin mo si Romualdez, tirahin mo si Saldi, there is a tendency na self-survival yan.
Yeah.
Magtuturo din yan. Sino pa bang on top sa kanila? Kung mabingwit ako, o ako, bakit ako lang? Bakit makalusot yung mastermind?
Tama.
So magdadaldal yan. Once you start scrutinizing them.
Kina Diskaya, they mentioned already the congressman. Ngayon may lumabas naman na aligasyon si Congressman Kiko Barzaga na pinost pa nga niya, sir, diba?
Yes,
The photo with Ping Lacson. Ito po ba ay makaka-apekto sa...
Of course, nakakaduda yan. Kasi kung ikaw ay... halimbawa ako, chairman ako ng... dapat kasama sa disclosure mo yan. Iniimbestigahan itong culprit na ito. Tapos
hindi siya nag-disclose.
Bakit hindi mo dinisclose na once upon a time?
I met this.
Ngayon, nagdududa na tuloy ang tao na, naman pala malay mo, nagbigay si Diskaya sa iyo ng campaign funds. Allegedly.
Yes.
Kasi, what's the business of the Diskaya meeting a senator na kandidato? Di ba? Kilala na natin itong modus operandi ng mga contractors.
Exactly.
Di ba? So, it provides a bad taste in the mouth that sasabihin niya, ngayon lang, 10 minutes lang sila. Sa 1 minute nga, kung
tinanggihan niya daw.
Tinanggihan niya daw. So may offer. Doon naman kay Soto, yung sinasabi ni...
The offer daw was to in-invite daw si Senator Ping, yung mga Diskaya, to join a rally, certain rally.
Sinong gagastos? Doon pa lang, alam mo na, that you're not supposed to receive any contribution. Yun nga ang tirada nila kay Chis, di ba? Noong kay Soto, halimbawa, ikaw si Yusek Cabral, sabihin mo sa akin, sir, baka mayroon kang ipahabol. Sabi, it was Lacson. It was from the Lacson's mouth na tinanggihan ni Soto.
Yeah.
Pero ang tanong, mayroon bang pinakita na sagot si Soto?
Wala pa.
Pinakita ba niya sa taong bayan? Ito yung conversation namin ni Cabral.
Wala pa ba?
Dapat pakita niya na, ito, sinabi ko. Ito yung sinabi ko sa kanya. Bakit sabi-sabi lang? You should show also.
Ang daming plot twist dito sa issue na to.
Yeah.
Like for example, a few days ago, sir, sinabi ni Senator Lacson that almost all senators had budget insertions. Sinabi naman ni Senator JV, I think na meron. Lahat yata. Then ito naman si Senator Risa yesterday, I think, during the...
Mayroon din siya.
During the program of
Tonying and Jerry.
Nabanggit yung tungkol sa alleged budget insertions.
Ito, 2025 lang ito, JB. But I tell you, kasi kaibigan ko si Saldico. Although magkaiba kaming persuasion sa buhay. Pero naging kumpare ko siya dahil silang dalawa ni Romualdez. long before the Marcos administration, magkaibigan na kami. Because when I was with PLLO, I normally hang out sa office ni Majority Floor Leader. So, nandoon na yan sila Saldi, sila JJ Suarez. Doon kami tumatambay. So, we had developed certain friendship. So, when my son was married, I asked them to be my ninong, my kumpadre. So, as early as 2024, sinabi ni Saldi sa akin, kasi ganito ang nangyari. Sabi ko, Kung, pwede bang makahirit itong isang congressman na baka makadagdag siya ng budget niya. Sabi niya, nasaan yung papel? Ko ito. So, sabi niya, pero last na lang ito, ha? Sabi niya. Kasi umukay na si Speaker. Pero sa susunod, doon ka na humirit sa mga kaibigan mong mga Duterte, senator, kasi doon sa namin, BICAM, they were able to get 3 billion each. 2024 pa lang yan. Ito, sinasabi ngayon 2025. So, since 2023, dapat ma-check natin yung bawat senador kung...
But how about yung kay Senator Risa?
Totoo yun. Baka mamaya, let's put it this way.
So all senators...
He may not be directly, baka chief of staff niya. O pinaubaya lang niya.
Kasi tinatanggi ni Senator Risa kahapon.
Si Bong Revilla, tinatanggi din niya. Pero sinong nalustay? Si Cambe.
This is about the PDAF scam.
The PDAF scam. Ito, pwede niyang sabihin, pinorge akong signature ko ng staff ko or whatever. This can be possible.
But naging issue ngayon yung budget insertions. Senate President Soto clarified that it is part of the budget process. Ikaw ba, sir?
He's dumb. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Because all of that are insertions. There is no distinction.
So do you think it's illegal?
Hindi naman illegal, pero immoral. Halimbawa, ito, sinasabi ni Soto, hindi daw yan insertion. They are...
Amendments.
Matter of semantics lang yan. Halimbawa, ako, congressman ako, may kailangan akong isang school building. High school, 120 million. 120 million yung hiningi ko, napasok na doon sa NEP. Pagdating sa house, pagdating ng second reading, nabulungan ako. I decided na tapyasin ko na lang yung school building na yan, palitan ko ng flood control. Amendment ba yun? Insertion pa rin yun. Because you inserted a new matter, because hindi ka na pwede magdagdag Under the law, hindi ka pwede magdagdag ng appropriation. Pwede mong ibalasa.
What if the insertion happened during the BICAM?
That's still an insertion. Ito, sinasabi niya amendment, legal daw yan. Well, legal nga, pero what is the moral mandate? Pinalitan mo yung legitimate na... Alam mo kasi ang difference kasi ng amendment sa floor, sa second reading. Itong pinalitan mong project, vetted na yan. May mga program of work na yan, na-inspect na yan. Tapos bigla kang tapyasin mo yon sa district mo. Tapos papalitan mo ng bagong matter like flood control. Ito, hindi pa ito na-inspect, hindi pa na ito na Kasi hindi galing sa DPWH. Ikaw lang mismo ang nagpalit through your power as a congressman. Anong matatawag mo dyan? Ano ba yan? Amendment? Insertion pa rin yan. Oh.
Sir, yung pagbibitiw ni Speaker Martin Romualdez, pagbibitiw ni Zaldico, tingin niyo po ba, anong basa niyo dito? Makakatulong ba ito sa kanila? Is just a smokescreen? Or what?
Alam mo, ito, pagtanggal, hindi yan nag-resign. Tinanggal yan si Speaker.
Tinanggal siya ni
Marcos.
BBM.
Oo, sinabihan siya na, well,
This is your inside info, ha?
Hindi. Hans ko bilang isang learned
Okay.
and experienced member of the House. Walang congressman na magiging speaker kung walang basbas.
Ng Pangulo.
Wala ding pwedeng tanggalin na speaker kung hindi ka tinanggal ng amo mo, who is the president. So, ang nakita ko dyan, pinatawag siya. Sabi siguro ni Marcos, pinsan, medyo nasisira na ko dahil ang tirada sa iyo. And it destroys my government. Baka pwede kang magpahinog muna. So, nag-resign siya. O sinong nilagay? You really think Boji is the darling of everybody? Of course not. Si Marcos din yung naglagay niyan. Pero, ang nagpapatakbo niyan, yung anak niya, si Sandro. I respect Boji. He's a very good friend. He's a very nice person. Pero, you really think that, in fact, sinabi nga, inamin niya nga na tanggalin ko yung infrastructure committee, kung ako lang ang masusunod. Sino palang masusunod? Ikaw nga, pinakamataas, speaker. Nahuhuli ka sa salita Di ba? So all these things, kaya nga,
lahat ng ito ay alam ng Pangulo. At may
alam niya lahat yan.
How about yung pagbibitiw ni Zaldico as congressman?
Ayaw niyang mag-testify. Why? Because if he starts testifying, there will be good congressmen, good people who are bright enough to ask him real difficult questions.
At maipit yung nagtaas.
Hindi ka naman pwedeng want to remain silent. Sooner or later, pagka ini-squeeze ka, makapagsabi ka ng totoo.
Sir, may labnaw ka bang nakikita o lambot na nakikita sa Marcos administration in terms of finding or paghahabol dito kay Zaldico?
Yes. Hindi yung kaibigan ko mismo, a very good friend ko, si DOJ. Ano sabi niya? Mahirap nating anuhin yan si Saldi, hindi na yan babalik.
There's an admission na.
Hindi na yan babalik. Pero, kung hindi babalik, anong ginagawa nyo? Si Arnie Tevez din hindi naman gustong bumalik, pero napabalik nyo.
Exactly.
Di ba? I mean, ito lang, simple lang. Dapat pinasomo ni Lacson yan. Or inimbita. Pagka hindi sumipot, pwede nilang i-declare in contempt. Show cause, tapos declare in contempt. Then issue a warrant of arrest. Ginawa na nila kay Andres Bautista yan. Nila Chis Escudero. Pinahuli nila nag-issue sila ng warrant of arrest ni Andres Bautista. But they did not pursue it. So they can also do that. Pag may warrant of arrest na ang Senate, pwede nang hulihin si Saldi.
I think the closest comparison is yung kay Tevez.
Yes.
Okay. Opo. So what do you think? Si Senator Ping Lacson, nakilalang, alam mo yun, fiscalizer, kilalang, alam mo yun, yung talagang anti-corruption advocate. Pero bakit tingin mo...
Do you really think all this propaganda about him, sa kagalingan niya, sa integrity niya, are all true? Lumalabas na ngayon yung mga issue sa kanya. The real thing that happened with Coratong Baleling kay Bubi Lacer, yung smuggling sa simento. So, you cannot hide all these things because they exist. Kasi ikaw, kung you exceed your role, people will remember you as you were not clean before.
So tingin niyo po may kinakampihan si
Yes,
Sir? At
obvious.
bakit siya may kinakampihan at kumakampi doon sa taong yun?
Well, unang-una, sino bang amo niya? Si Marcos. Sino bang panalo kay Soto?
Paano panalo, sir?
Pagka Senate President.
Part sila ng
pagka
alliance.
Senate President. Do you really think the Senate President is chosen freely? May basbas yan. O si Subiri, from the start, yun na yung binabata ni McCoy Jr. O, pero may mga pinagawa sa kanya, hindi niya ginawa. O, tulad nung investigasyon ni Morales, pinatuloy niya si Bato. So, narindi ang Malacanang, binata nila si Escudero. Do you really think Escudero will be capable of getting votes to become Senate President? Tapos ngayon, Escudero has gone astray. Mukhang hindi na yata pinapainom ng alak ni Lisa Marcos. Kaya dumilistat siya. So, yung mga bilyar, do you really think devoted for Escudero, babaliktad lang yan basta-basta kung walang pressure from Malacanang? Si Cayetano. Pia. Baka sinabihan ni Marcos yan, Pia, do you remember we supported you in your Senate si Soto at saka si Lacson. Hindi ba kineri yan ni Marcos with all the money according to Chanco, with all the money support? So may utang na loob yan.
So tingin niyo talaga itong nangyayari sa Senado ay may basbas din.
Gawa na, alam mo, Marcos is on top. He is the one. Although maybe wala sa kanyang, kung ano pa yan, sabihin natin, kung talagang conscious sa lahat na ginagawa, he may not be because he might not have that much brain. But there is someone more brainer that he listens to and is the one that is getting everything to roll.
Sino, sir? Meron ka bang idea kung sino to?
Siyempre, sino bang posible niyan?
Bigyan mo nga kami ng clue, sir.
Definitely, it's not Bersamin.
The cousin?
Definitely, hindi yung cousin, tinanggal nga eh.
Or the wife?
Sabi nila kasi, if you look at the history of the Christian faith or the Bible, Abraham, mayroong tinatawag na, how did the people start? I mean, the human race. Mayroong Adam and Eve. Sino bang nag-tempt kay Adam?
Okay.
Di si Eve.
I know. You are saying that it's the, alam na. Anyway, so yun yung mga clues ni Secretary Jing. Si Eve yung pinaka
kasi yun.
Nagtitip.
Hindi ko naman masabi siguro matalino. Hindi ko rin masabi na magaling na abogado kasi may mga nagsasabi sa akin na hindi naman talaga siya nakapasa ng abogasya sa New York. Nang recognize. May mga friends ako.
This is about the first lady na to. Yeah. So, pero between Marcos Jr. and this one, mas bright ito. Abogada pa. Yeah.
So, whom does this guy listens to? Hindi doon sa kanyang queen.
So, siya tingin mo ang nagpapatakbo ng lahat ng ito sa Senado?
Hindi naman siguro sa lahat. Mayroon naman sigurong iba ding advisor.
Okay.
Pero ang may final say, ito. Kaya nga, sinipa nga niya si Vic Rodriguez eh.
Yeah.
Di ba?
So, talagang pinakikinggan. So, tingin mo itong allegation ni ni Guteza that there's money or maleta na dinala. Mga maleta sa Aguado. May mga allegation din na umabot pa nga sa kay ES, allegedly, Office of the Executive Secretary.
Kagaya nun. Okay, ito. Sino ba itong Trigib na minensyon ni Bernardo? Ito yung sidekick, right-hand man ni Angara. Who was Angara in 2024? He was the chairman of the Finance Committee.
Wait, are you saying Secretary Angara is also involved?
Of course. Siyang chairman ng Finance Committee eh.
Involved to what degree or to what?
Sa BICAM.
I mean, kumita or...
I would not know. Pero mayroon niyang insertions. Definitely. Kung ikaw ang chairman ng Finance Committee, ang kausap mo, Finance Committee rin ng Appropriations Committee ng House, kayo lang dalawa ang mag-decide niyan. Kung ano yung final version ng General Appropriations Bill.
How about the successor of Senator Angara, Senator Grace Poe?
Posible.
Yeah. Pero tahimik siya, sir.
Siyempre.
Papalamig.
Dapat nga pinatawag yan. Yung ICI, pinatawag. Pero let's go to the ICI. There is a pending case now raising constitutionality of the ICI. Which I've read the Truth Commission issue.
Yeah.
It was declared unconstitutional. Walang kaibahan ito eh.
Yeah.
It was just changed a little bit.
Same.
Pinalawak lang ng konti yung coverage.
So same.
Pero it's still an issue of unequal protection.
It should be the ombudsman doing it.
It should, and saka usurpation of the powers of the ombudsman. Maraming issue yung ICI. At the same time, will it really truly answer the cravings of the people to draw blood from the crocodiles? Hindi. Hindi pwede.
Yeah.
Why? Because at the end of the day, yung report, tadaan mo na kay Marcos eh. At siyang pipili kung anong sasabihin niya o hindi. Kung yung question ni Chavit na...
Ayun, nabanggit mo.
Yung question ni Chavit na dapat imbestigahan kasi bakit nakarating ang mga diskaya doon? O what if upon the ICI may recommendation na i-prosecute ito si Sandro Marcos or yung mga kamag-anak? I-erase ni Marcos, wag ito, anak ko ito eh. Siya may final say sa ICI eh.
So may poprotektahan.
Siyempre. Because they are not really independent. It is only a matter of nomenclature.
What do you mean?
Nomenclature. Sinasabi mo, independent. Pero is it really independent? Ang independent, yung talagang walang, sila lang, yung si Reyes, si Babe Singson, tsaka yung auditor, sila lang yung may final say. So, if decide na ito, liable ito, diretso na sa ombudsman. Pero, under sila kay Marcos eh.
Yes. Tama.
They report to him for the final, kasi they are created by the president, by executive order.
Okay. Sir, itong issue ng itong corruption na ito ay hindi na po bago. Hindi na po ito bago sa Pilipinas. Nangyari na po yung PDAF, pork barrel scam. And prior to that, may mga issue na rin po ng korupsyon na nangyari sa ating pong gobyerno. Pero, bakit to paulit-ulit na nangyayari sa gobyerno natin? Why do corruption scandals keep recurring no matter
kasi
who is in power?
There is no closure. There is no real justice. There is really no verdict against the culprits.
The big fish.
Because there are always doubt as to the judgment rendered by the courts. I for one, alam ko na may mga tumatanggap. So, pwedeng iti-twist yung decision.
Tumatanggap na justice.
Oo.
Okay.
Alam ko.
So kaya pa ulit-ulit because the system is corrupt.
Alam mo, ako talaga, there must be cleansing of the entire Filipino
Government system.
race.
Paano, sir?
Because corruption is already embedded eh. So, SK pa lang eh, corrupt na sila eh. They know how to come up with resolution na may tinatabi na silang, I mean, it starts from the barangay, sa SK, sa barangay captain, sa mayor. Oh. You really think mga mayors are not raking it in? Like for instance, ang dami-dami nilang job order. Oh. Hindi yan iniimbestigahan ng DILG. So ako, mayor ako. Mag-hire ako ng karami-raming casual. Pero do you really think lahat doon totoo? Hindi ghost casuals? Oh, doon pa lang. Oh.
Okay.
So, ang daming corruption is embedded already.
Of all these issues, especially sa flood control projects, ano ang tingin nyo na may mga effort kasi, di ba? May mga effort ka bang nakikita na mai-involve yung mga Dutertes or may mga gagawin ba ang administration?
Ako, I'm not averse to involving, kasi there is a misconception. Pag sinasabing Dutertes, parang sinasabi mo si Duterte mismo ang involved or si Sara mismo.
Oo.
That's
Stereotype.
hindi, parang ano yan eh. Deception. Maraming corrupt sa panahon ni Duterte. I can name names. Maraming corrupt na mga sekretary. Kaya nga yung PACC, ang daming nirecommend na pinapatanggal. From Dante Jimenez. Marami silang. The PACC was created to investigate government official. Pero itong ICI, ina-involve nila yung mga private. Wala naman silang jurisdiction against the private persons. Pero yung PACC, it is only for the benefit of the president. Para i-recommend, para ipapire out ng Pangulo. Ito, it is to investigate para ma-prosecute yung mga contractor, mga congressman. Wala naman jurisdiction yan.
And by the way, PACC was abolished by this current administration.
Ang daming nirecommend ng PACC na mga government officials na tiwali.
Pero walang nangyari.
Inabolish eh. Walang continuity eh.
Okay.
Kagaya nung pag-set in pa lang ni Duterte, yung isang DILG secretary.
Yeah, si Sueno.
Sinipa niya kaagad. Doon sa DOLE, may nireport ako na dinala ko mismo yung hilingian ng pera. Right there and then, sinipa ni Digong. Pero dito sa Duterte administration, sinasabi nila, they can also investigate. Marami diyang mga sekretary na kumita. In their own way. Pwedeng imbestigahin din yan. Di ba? Wala dapat na i-spare. In fact, ito si Cusi, may kaso na nga eh.
Yes.
Dapat he should be prosecuted. Kasi alam ko yan deal na yan. Talagang tiwali yan.
Okay, sir. Now let's go to former President Duterte sa ICC. Anong nakikita mo? Tingin niyo po ba makakalabas pa ang dating Pangulo or mabibigyan siya ng interim release? Or what will be the impact of this Senate resolution urging the ICC to place the former President under house arrest?
Well, unang-una, I appreciate the efforts of the senators.
Okay.
Pero as to the impact or the bearing
or the
resolution, ICC kasi is an international body.
Yeah.
Comprising of mga mayayabang na mga bansa na hindi mo Hindi mo pwedeng ano. At saka,
Diktahan.
diktahan. Saka yung Netherlands, bastion na yan ng mga komunista eh. Remember, Joma,
Yeah.
yun dapat ang kinulong dyan sa ICC, pero hindi nila kinulong. Oh. Ilan bang pinatay ng mga grupo ni Joma? Ang daming nakikita na mga, di ba? Yung mass graves.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a purging of NPAs.
Pero walang bearing. Ito, sinasabi nila 30,000, sabi ni John Vic. Sinasabi ng mga kaliwa ni La Dilima, 10,000 daw pinatay ni Duterte. Bakit 43 lang yung pinahila nila ng kaso?
Sa ICC.
Sa ICC.
First of all, tingin niyo po ba mahina ang kaso at makakalaya pa siya?
Well, una muna, bago yung issue, bago yung substance ng kaso, may mga peripheral issues na eh. Like jurisdiction. Legal issues yan. As what the Solicitor General stated, wala nang jurisdiction. I'm talking of the real Solicitor General na matalino, no?
Guevara.
Si Guevara. He said that wala nang jurisdiction because paso na yung time na they were allowed by the judges to conduct an investigation.
Yeah.
Sila nung una, examination lang yun. Chismis-chismis lang muna. Pero ito formal. Pero wala na eh. Hindi na tayo membro eh. So that's one.
Okay.
O yung illegal na arrest. Dapat legal issue din yan.
Yeah.
If it is a legal issue here by the Senate, yung investigation, that should also be raised in the ICC.
And you think ICC will consider those?
It should be because pareho yung rules natin sa Rome Statute at saka yung RA na sinight ni Secretary Remulla. It talks about competent judicial competent
authority.
Nasa Rome Statute din yan. Doon pa lang dapat ni-raise yung issue na it did not pass through the local judicial competent authority. That alone is questionable. Isa din yan pwedeng erase.
Okay. So, may pag-asa po kayo na makakalaya pa?
Kung hindi bias yung ICC, ang problema kasi, ano ba talaga yung ICC?
Okay.
Is it really an impartial justice system or talagang farce?
Okay.
Then,
how about sa interim
kaya nga
release?
gusto ngang i-sanction ng Amerika yan eh.
How about sa interim release, sir? May mga sinasabi, 3 bansa na raw yung
Well, yeah, pero maski pumayag yung mga bansa na yon, itong mga kaliwa, itong pretender na impostor na
Human
si
rights.
Conti na assistant daw siya. Sabi ni Harry Roque, wala namang papel yan dito. He's just claiming to be assistant daw na prosecutor.
Yeah.
It's never been recognized. But anyway, ang point dyan is right now, the president, according to his lawyer, hindi siya capable mentally.
Yes. May suffering from cognitive impairment.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, paano mo tatanungin yan?
Sabi ni Trillanes, hindi daw. Nakakatawag pa daw.
Pero kung pag-usapan natin yung cognitive, mas cognitive si Duterte dito kay Trililing. Kasi dati na Trililing yan eh. Pinagbigyan ko nga yan eh. Makulong na sana yan kung hindi ko pinagbigyan na nakiusap siya sa akin na mag-public apology doon sa kaso na sinampahan ko yan. Pero alam mo tayo, we normally give way to people eh.
Bakit nag-iingay na naman si Senator Trillanes? Tingin mo, sinong...
Unang-una, siyempre gusto niyang pumapel. Maybe he wants to run for senator in 2028.
Or somebody's...
Or...
supporting him?
Siyempre, nagpapagamit yan. So, sino bang pwedeng gumamit yan?
Okay.
Yung mastermind ng corruption dito sa ating bansa.
Sino, sir?
Ay, yung Adam.
Ang daming clues ni Sir. Let's go to Vice President Sara Duterte. You were with the Vice President during her trip to Japan.
Yes,
right?
yes.
For the Maisog. Have you discussed something with her?
No, I refrain from talking about politics.
Okay.
The only reason why I was with her is that I was personally invited also.
By the Maisog? Or the organizers?
Maisog, to me, does not exist.
Okay.
It's a farce organization now. It used to be a real, association when it was still under President Duterte.
Okay.
But ngayon, it's being run by people who have vested interest, like Vic Rodriguez and Ibasco.
Oh,
They hijacked the Maisog to favor themselves and create a platform for their candidacy. Kaya nawala yung objective talaga ng Maisog.
Which is
really to form a body as a real opposition. So kung tinuloy sana yon, like hindi nila ginuyo si Presidente Duterte na pumunta sa Hong Kong, kung itong September 21 rally, kung nandyan sana si Digong at pinagtibay niya yung Maisog, baka mayroon sana na mangyayari.
So you're saying that even within the internal circle of the former president and the vice president, may mga disconnect, may mga cracks?
Of course. Because walang I was about to tell the vice president. Sabihin ko na sana sa kanya, Ma'am, mukhang disunited ang ating grupo. Mayroong Arcos Alis dyan, mayroong Inday Cares, mayroong Maisog, na platform nila Rodriguez, mayroong iba-ibang faction. So long as walang leader na tinitingala, hindi talaga ma-unite yan. So sabi ko, ikaw lang pag-asa dyan na ma-unite mo yan. Because slowly, they are inching in against you.
Against the vice president?
Yeah, di ba? Hindi, yung mga kalaban.
Okay.
Yung
mga kalaban.
Tingnan mo September 21 rally. Do you really think yung mga leftist, mga iba dyan, anong sinisigaw nila? Hindi against Marcos, but against the vice president.
Exactly.
Di ba?
Wrong narrative.
So,
the vice president
magdadatingan ba yung mga tao na yon? Alam mo, magastos magpadating ng tao, ha?
So you think someone is funding the rallies?
Of course. It was funded. Very well funded. Even the organizers, my personal view is that they were.
And who do you think funded?
Siyempre, yung magbe-benefit. If these people are not shouting, resign, so siya magbe-benefit.
The president?
Of course.
Oh, that's new to me. Kaya pala sinabi ni Gov Shavit na may nakausap siya na protester and said, who's funding you? It's Liza and Martin.
Yun pala .
Right?
So I'm just
voicing
that out.
Same sa info.
But that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay. Nabanggit mo na rin naman si VP Sara. Do you think safe na siya sa impeachment, sir?
No.
Kahit na
she is not. No, let's be about it. She is not safe from being impeached
by
because
the House.
No. She's not
impeached
safe.
by the House.
Yes, because they can file again.
Okay.
The leftists and the Akbayan, the Bayan Muna, they will never stop. They will file again in 2026.
Yes, Feb 2026.
But this time, magkakaroon na ng ibang direction ang House. Unang-una, wala nang pambayad. Sabi ni Chanco, binayaran . Kaya pumirma. Ngayon wala na. Tapos, yung mga members ng Congress, do you really think they have loyalty to Marcos? Inaakusa kayo na magnanakaw? Mahiya kayo?
So may change, may shift.
Magkakaroon ng yan. Pero ang maganda dyan, dapat sundin na nila yung proseso.
As mentioned by the Supreme Court.
Yeah. Idalhin nyo na sa Committee on Justice. Parang doon pa lang, may due process na. Magkakaroon na ng sagot ang Vice President.
Okay.
Bago darating sa Senado. Okay. Pero you cannot detach also the fact that baka mas mauna pang impeachment complaint against Marcos. There are lots of people also contemplating. At saka they're not afraid anymore dati na walang pipirma. Maraming pipirma dyan sa impeachment ni Marcos.
Hindi na sila takot ngayon dahil
binastos nga sila ni Marcos eh. Mahiya kayo eh. Ibig sabihin, mahiya kayo dahil magnanakaw kayo. Ako malinis, kayo ang marumi. Hindi ka ba magagalit na yung nag-aakusa sa iyo mas marumi kaysa akin? Hindi ba?
So tingin mo sa susunod na taon may impeachment against Marcos?
Maybe. Maybe not.
Di ba?
Kasi ang daming grounds eh. Kay Sara, confidential fund kasi hindi naman nila pwedeng under the law kasi, under the Constitution, you can only raise issues during the incumbency of the impeachable official. Kung mayor siya, wala yun. Yung mga sinasabing mga pera na kinalap niya, ganyan-ganyan, when he was mayor, wala yan. Yun lang, ang mariraise nila dyan is yung
during her vice
confidential
presidency.
Funds.
So, this flood control issue, do you think magiging grounds for impeachment sa presidente?
Marami.
The GAA, alleged unconstitutionality.
In fact, one of the grounds na matagal nang nare-raise na issue against Marcos is yun lang paglipat niya ng pera kay Vice President. Bawal yun.
Pero I think may Supreme Court decision doon, sir.
Na?
Wala pa bang Supreme Court decision?
Wala.
Okay.
Bawal yun kasi walang item eh.
And the PhilHealth Fund transfer?
PhilHealth Fund. Marami pa. At ito ngayon, yung paggamit niya itong matindi, yung paggamit niya, pag-release niya ng unprogrammed
flood control. Okay. Sir, ang issue rin na hindi masyadong napapansin, yung ombudsman na hinaharang-harang, I mean, they said hinaharang daw si Remulla kasi bakante ngayon ang ombudsman eh. Tingin mo ba maging banta ito sa kay VP Sara?
I don't think eh. Wala namang
kasi the ombudsman can file charges against the Vice President.
Yeah, pero appealable sa Supreme Court lahat yan eh.
So it will not disqualify
the
the Vice...
ombudsman would not really have any power because una, it is by certiorari can be raised to the Court of Appeals.
And even if it files before the Sundigan Bayan, hindi pa naman magdedesisyon.
Hindi pa siya pwede mag-file kasi may MR pa yan. Tapos may certiorari pa.
Okay.
So hindi final yung sinasabi ni Amy na ipapakulong si Sara, malayo pa sa totoo yun.
Okay. So what do you... Ito, last question na, sir. Anong nakikita mo sa 2028? Who will fight against...
Well,
or sino yung magtatakbo?
Well, sa opposition, there's only one.
Sino to, sir?
Si Vice President Sara.
Okay.
He's the only one who is really the contender.
The front runner.
The front runner also. Pero doon sa kabila, ang best bet nila para sa akin is Leni Robredo. But I don't think Leni would still run. I don't know. If they can convince her.
But according to the survey, she's number 2 or 3, right?
So siya yun. Pero ang pwede nilang ipalit ay yung Bam Aquino.
Bam Aquino.
Oo, kasi may pedigree yun eh. Aquino yun eh. Tsaka walang bahid. Tingin ko, walang bahid yan eh. Oh, yun ang pwede nilang ilaban kay Inday Sara.
Sinong katandem?
Sabi nila, si Marcos daw will run for vice president eh.
Bongbong Marcos will run for vice president under an Aquino?
Oo.
Wow.
Di ba friends na sila? Kaya nga niya pinapanalo si Bam eh.
What do you mean, sir?
Di ba? Hindi ka ba na-surprise paano nanalo yung nasa Colela tapos biglang nag-number 2?
So you think Bam Aquino ay tinulungan ni Marcos?
Of course.
To win?
Of course. Yung Comelec, sino bang sinusunod niyan?
Paano, sir? Ay, Comelec. Okay. Sige, I don't want to na lang.
Hunch ko lang yon.
Okay.
Kasi, sila Bong Revilla, sila Pacquiao, nasa mataas, tapos ito, nasa Colela, tapos biglang, there's something wrong with that.
So nagulat ka rin sa resulta.
Kasi normally,
number 2, number 2 si Bam Aquino.
years, pero
Colela.
para sa akin, okay na rin yung nanalo yan.
Because?
Kasi matino. Matino si Bam eh. He's okay. Para sa akin.
Masipag.
Sipag, matino. Ako, tingin ko, walang ninanakaw yan na pera.
Takot masira ang Aquino legacy.
Yeah. So, yun ang pwede. If Lenny does not run. Other than that, wala na.
What if Lenny and Bam?
Yung isang babae na nag-ambisyon.
Sino
wala,
to?
Walang chance yan.
Sino isang babae,
Yung
sir?
allegedly nagbabayad ng mga testigo.
Si Risa Hontiveros?
At saka ngayon, may insertions pala. Tapos, nagdi-deny.
Si Senator Risa.
Yung bang pangalan yan? Ang alam ko, Huntay eh.
Anong Huntay?
Huntay virus.
So, okay. May mga issue rin na lumalabas na magkaaway daw. Allegedly, may hidwaan din yung Lenny versus Risa camp. Is it true?
Posible.
Chismis lang to, sir, sa Reddit.
Posible kasi pakinggan mo si Barry Manilow.
Barry Gutierrez.
Ano yan? Pero hindi naman daw tatakbo si Lenny. She wants to continue the legacy of her husband.
But they're floating, ha? I mean, ang daming naglalabasan ulit na Lenny.
Pero marami pang Lenny. Pero as of now, wala pa rin mananalo kay Sara.
Sa ngayon.
Oo.
Who do you think will run o magiging best content o katandem ni VP Sara? Kasi ang daming malakas.
Hindi si Bongo. Kung hindi lalabas yung baho ni Bongo, pwede yan. Maraming nagsasabi ngayon na may baho din daw si Bongo. Hindi ko alam. But you'll never know 2028, malayo pa yun.
Malayo pa?
Nung una, there was a rumor na nung mabango pa si Escudero daw ang interesadong mag-vice kay Sara.
Kaya yung sagot ni Speaker Romualdez, there's a privilege speech ni Senator Cheese. It was an audition for Vice President.
At isa pa, you'll never know, si Marcoleta.
Marcoleta is also maingay.
Maingay, At saka may daladalang iglesia ni Cristo yan. May pondo na yan na boto. So, marami. Marami pwede.
Vico Soto.
Hindi pa yan qualified
But some congressmen and some senators are pushing for charter change.
Wala.
Para daw mapababa ang edad ng tatakbong presidente.
That's asking for the moon. Hindi nga nila yung economic tapos i-amen nila para lang dito sa isang tao.
Personal interest.
Kalokohan yan.
Yeah.
It's I admire Vico. Pero kailangan pa muna, kung sa manok pa yan, kailangan muna ng breeding para mo isasabong. Matagal, but he'll have his time.
He'll have his time.
He'll have his time.
Isko Moreno, wala na?
Well, pwedeng mag-comeback yan. Kasi articulate, marunong magalit, marunong
Pero kayo, personal choice niyo, sir. Sino nakikita mo dapat President at VP na manalo sa 28? Kasi yung nakikita natin is based on sa circumstances eh. Yung ikaw, personal choice mo, based sa performance, sa integridad, o sa lahat.
Honestly, wala pa akong napipisil na pwede. Well, ako, partial ako kay Bongo, pero kasi I know him. Pero kung puro Mindanao, hindi yata okay yan eh. Kasi Mindanao si Sara, Mindanao din si Bongo.
Pero you're fixed na your president ay Sara?
Of course. Wala namang iba.
Oo.
Yeah. But I just hope she follows the footstep of her father. Kasi si Digong talagang, he is the guy na may presidential grace, may presidential appeal, marunong magalit, marunong magmahal. I hope the Vice President can exactly put her foot in the foot of Digong.
At malaki ang chance.
No, so far, she's doing naman. Pero ako, kung narinig niya ako, o makarinig siya, dapat, he should be more hands-on. He should be more visible and exercising leadership and unite the different factions within the opposition.
Sir,
Kasi mayroong kasi JV na loyal lang talaga kay Digong. Yung sinasabi lang DDS or mayroon namang SDS, ito Sara Duterte naman supporter.
Na hindi loyal kay Digong.
Na purely kay Sara lang yan.
Oo.
Pero if you're able to unite them.
Strong.
And maybe talagang maninindigan siya. Magbabad siya diyan sa EDSA at magsisigaw siya. At imbitahin niya yung taong bayan. Baka hindi na siya maghihintay pa ng 2028.
Yeah.
Di ba? Yun lang advice ko sa kanya.
Hindi ko natanong yung Tulfo pala.
Wala na yun, nasira eh.
Paano nasira?
Sinira nga sila ni Ben eh.
Yung kapatid din nila.
Si Ben mismo, sinasabi, dapat maging, kayo, people of integrity. Ha? Yung mag-ama, tinira niyo yung anak. Yung ama, hindi man lang pinagsabihan yung anak. Wala man lang siyang statement to the effect na
galit siya. Ito
namang isa, huwag daw tayong sumunod ng batas.
Bend the
law.
Okay.
Tapos, Amerikano. Tapos naging Pilipino. Paano naman tayo magtiwala dyan sa mga yan?
Okay.
And lastly, itong si Rapi Tulfo, nag-iimbestiga siya ng sweepstakes, pero hanggang ngayon walang findings. Ang dami niyang sinasabi tungkol sa mga dayaan, mga gano'n. Pero, pinatahimik ba kaya siya? Yun ang mga tanong.
Sir, last question. Anong nakikita nyo na political future ng Administrasyong Marcos at ng mga Marcos?
I think it's already dead in the water. Kasi nanunumbalik ngayon yung galit ng tao na ginawa ng kanilang tatay.
Actually, sir, mas nakalimutan nga yung tatay. Yung gawa na ng anak eh.
Yeah. Nanunumbalik. Ang sinasabi nila, mas worse ito sa tatay. Kung napaka masama, napaka kabulastugan yung ginawa ng tatay, kung mas worse ito, ano pang generation ang susunod?
So no more chance.
Pati nga yung kapatid na matino, si Ginang Aimee, sinasabi niya, itong kapatid ko ganito, itong kapatid ko ganyan. So, sino pang maniwala sa kanila?
So,
tapos sinasabi pa ni Chavit, ang dami-daming Diskaya projects doon sa Ilocos Norte. Tapos may nagsasabi pa na yung mga chief of staff pa or isang trusted na ang yaman-yaman, nakapagpatayo ng mansion-like na bahay.
Oh. Chief of Staff ni Sandro.
Pimpenko. Sorry.
Pimpenko.
Charis.
Naloko ko nun. Sino si Pimpenko? Kasi kamukha.
Kamukha.
Yes, sir, no?
It's another
Ang dami
way
mga clues
of identifying. Kasi mas maraming nakakakilala na siya ay kamukha ni Charis kaysa
kay Sandro
Marcos.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Nakakatuwa po ang ating kwentuhan.
Yes,
Dahil ko pong narinig ng mga bagong pasabog mula po kay Secretary Jing Paras. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Next time po ulit, mag-usap tayo sa mas mahaba-habang kwentuhan dito sa ating podcast.
Just anytime, holler. Ika nga.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the time. And this is our podcast. This is The Right Show on Record with JV Arsena. Again, see you next Sunday.